And Julius, you're a team manager. What's your job, sir?
It's definitely been a journey. I think that's a great way to put it. You know, a journey that we're just starting. We're in year one of a 2-year treatment, and so we came into a lot of unknowns.
At the beginning of the year, we would take quite a long time to build that success criteria and the targets and really feel like we were grasping what we needed to do, and it's coming more naturally now.
We've now just got most of the foundation, and so now we'll be really deepening and revising our knowledge because we know some of what we're thinking right now will need to be revised.
I feel like we really got our jump in January. I would say as a building, we were really confident. Yeah, we've had misconceptions along the way, but I think that's through the learning process. We, as coaches, have seen a significant impact as far as how classrooms look and sound.
We're actually teaching our students to think, and it's just so fun to watch. They work together in teams and in partners, and they process content together.
But I think our monitoring tells us it's working.
We knew monitoring was going to be a big piece in how we pay attention to student learning, and we knew there was going to be a lot of elements. But this year it's been, you know, up and downs. I think you know, you think you understand something, and then the more you dig into it and the more PDs you have, you realize that your original thinking needed to be revised.
And just when you think you get it, there's another layer.
We know all the pieces now of Schools for Rigor. You know, the targets, the success criteria, the monitoring, the teaming. And now we just have to learn to juggle and learn to get them all going at the same time and getting good at it.
It's more about the science of my teaching and less about the art of teaching this year, and that's been hard.
You're going to tell the story on your whiteboard of antibacterial resistance.
It'll come back. I can already tell in some things. Some days are better, but then when I'm trying a new strategy that I really have to focus on the strategy hard, then that's where my focus is.
I had to kind of go back and sit, think about what I'm going to do, plan for it, and then even collaborate with my colleagues or my administrator and say, how does this sound? If I was going to make some adjustments, where would you make them at and why? And I had to continue that process, and as I built that process, it helped me moving forward to plan better.
And then also thinking about your adaptations. What are you going to immediately do during the lesson for those kids that you see aren't getting it? Or what are you going to immediately do to adapt for those kids that they've got it and you need to up the rigor for them?
So Dad plans to ride 15 rides, so then we would just put 38 tickets.
One ride is 2 tickets. So
Teachers have seen their role change more because students are taking more ownership.
They can walk on 4 legs with their long noses pointing downward.
The days of me reading a read aloud for comprehension and processing it together as a whole group are long gone, and now the kids have grade level texts in their hands during a comprehension lesson. They're working in their teams to work on the comprehension strategies, and I'm more of a facilitator, kind of walking around and making sure that, you know, listening to their conversations.
I've really got to the point where I'm stepping back and just listening and hearing the conversation. At the beginning of the year, it was a lot more of I would need to stop and redirect and kind of refocus the whole group. And I'm not doing that nearly as much as I was.
We're trying to get away from the, you know, one hand, one answer, you know, because we want all the students engaged. If they're not engaged with their team, we want them at least engaged with a partner.
And teaching them how to all take part and be productive, and that's been interesting and accountable. Yeah, it's been interesting, and there are good days and there are bad days. But
I would say teaming is still something that it's getting there. It's not going to be perfect. There are days that are good and days that are not so good, and kids bring that with them when they walk in the room. So
I think a lot of people feel like the big piece is there now. We understand what School for Rigor is and what it means for us and our students. And we've seen the effect of it. So let's keep going on what more now can we add to it.
Certified results coach is a shift in looking at student action and not necessarily doing the modeling for the teacher. So instead of that, we do kind of side by side.
Yeah, like she'll step in, I'm teaching a lesson and she thinks of something, like she'll come up to me, you know, whisper it to me, and then we try to implement it right then. Instead of her modeling, me watching, it's her, you know, feeding me with all the knowledge that she has, that she can pull from, and then seeing me implement it and try to implement it.
I think it's even beneficial to even have collaborative conversations why the learning is even happening, because the whole goal of that is to what's tomorrow going to be. And I think before we didn't get to that piece.
If we don't have good instruction in the classrooms, there's no systems that we can create to fix everything else. If a lot of our students aren't learning the first time in that Tier 1 instruction that they're getting it, and we're not differentiating in the classroom and meeting kids and understanding where they are, and you know, we can't wait for a CFA 2 or 3 weeks out to make an adjustment. We got to make quicker adjustments. That's truly the key to keeping kids engaged, to keeping kids hopeful. We're doing this for the students. This isn't for teachers. This is for our kids and our future, and we want to be the model of urban education. And I think this is the right way to go.